event organized by the SafeNet project. We are very happy to welcome you all at the Mechanical Engineering Department of the University of Coimbra. This Mechanical Engineering Department is the home house of the Center for Forest Fire Research Group that is actually, let's say, organizing this activity together with you. And in this third day of this meeting, we are going to have this webinar to exchange knowledge and experience between the three countries that are involved here to know and understand better how is the management of wildfire risk organized in each country. We are very happy to have this group, as we are always open to exchange experiences and to learn from everyone that wants to come to visit Portugal. We understand that since 2017, Portugal has been doing many new things, and it's a country that is looked elsewhere as a country that has many things to teach and to experience to transfer. And this is, let's say, this meeting and this webinar today is part of it. I'd like to greet in particular our visitors from Slovenia, from Italy, and from other parts of the world, also students that we have with us. I want to greet and welcome the authorities of the Portuguese institutions that accepted to participate in this event and to share their ideas and knowledge. And of course, we are not here to teach anyone about anything. We are here to exchange experiences and to learn about what we are doing and from also what we are doing as well. Having said these welcoming words, I would like to give the floor to the coordinator of the project. If you want to say something, please.
Thank you. Thank you. It's okay? Listen.
No, Miguel, you need to share the screen so that everybody can see.
Okay. I will start and Miguel will go later. So thank you for hosting us here. We are very glad to be here. I like to say I'm the project manager. This is one of the activity of Fire SafeNet project, which was found or activated last year. The idea started already after the 2022 year, when we had a larger fire in Slovenia, a fire which we were faced with a situation that our capabilities wasn't enough anymore. So we are trying to find new solution, and this is how Fire SafeNet happened. It's a collaboration between two countries, Slovenia and Italy, on the border about wildfire risk, which increased in last 20 years, and also so we have bigger and bigger fire, and we don't expect them to get better, but worse. So we are finding new solution. The partnership is constituted by 6 partners, 3 from Italy, 3 from Slovenia, and ISIC, Institute of Sociology from Gorizia, was his partner who managed this activity here. So thank you for ISIC also. So like I already said about the project, about this visit or exchange visit, which took place last 3 days. It is mostly about us getting as much knowledge from you as we can. We understand it before already that you have a lot of a very analytic analytic approach, yes, to fire behavior, This is something we want to learn, and this knowledge we want to take with us in Italy and in Slovenia. And this is the main point. We are here. We will do other activities in Fire Safe Net. One of them is going to Sardinia, also to take their knowledge. And we know they learn from you. So it's like a very nice net, a very good net of knowledge. And we want to become a part of this net. And so this is Fire Safe Net. Okay. So thank you for all who will contribute today. For partners and for your colleagues, and I'm glad and waiting to hear much new things. Okay, I already done.
This presentation.
Yeah, this is what I talk about. Okay, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Very welcome. So just to give you more or less some tips of what this seminar will be. So I am sharing the agenda. It will start by this opening where we are at this moment. And then we have a change in here because it was forcing to start by the presentation of wildfire management system in Slovenia and then follow it by Italy. But because there are some challenges, let's say, in terms of personal agendas, we will start by the presentation of the Portuguese system. I also would like, as I could see, we have here the question and answers button. Please use it only for question and answers. And if you want just to say good afternoon or so on, you can. For that, you can use the chat. Okay, but please, for those that are attending this seminar remotely, if you have questions to ask, please use the right button to do that, and only for that. Okay, and to not delay anymore, so I would call João Quadrado, that has just arrived. Sorry, now we will. We'll download the presentation, but you have to speak to the digital licenses, please.
Uma coisa, João, quadrado, sim, não, quadrado, isso, e dá uma coisa aí, uma muito obrigado.
Posso passar por aqui agora? É para o computador, se é preciso. É só o computador.
Quero o quê?
Tem um computador, é preciso.
Ah, não.
Mas sim. Obrigado. Okay, first of all, yeah, everything you set it up. Okay, so and it's working. Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you for the invitation, and sorry for making you changing the plan. We are a really small team, and I just found out this morning because Miguel called me that we overlapped two different things at the same time. So performing a miracle almost to be in two places at the same time. But we thought that was really important to be here and make a very quick presentation about the Portuguese system and how AGIF is part of the Portuguese system. So how we get there, how we get here. As you probably already know, Portugal have 6.5 million hectares, and 2/3 of the country it's susceptible to burn. So it could be pasture land, could be shrubland, could be forest, and also agriculture in a lower scale, but 2/3 of the country could burn. One of the warmest countries in Europe, and we have more or less 16% of the days with very high or high fire risk. We have our National Meteorological Agency has a daily rating of the fire risk, and we have 16% of the days with a high fire risk. The main forest, the forest is mainly constituted by eucalyptus, maritime pine, and cork oak, which is more or less 3.3 million hectares, and shrubland, which is more or less 2.2 million hectares. And as you already noticed, from this week, we usually have rainy winters and warm summers, which allows a very high productivity, primary productivity. The vegetation grows in winter and spring and dries during summer, leaving us in this situation of the possibilities of large fires. So rural fires are more or less a common event, but in 2007 we had a very, very big impact in two big events that led to more than 100 deaths and an area burnout of more or less 6% of the country. So after that, probably is the same in different countries, in different activities, but we wanted to learn with this large impact event, and there were created two different independent technical commissions were created in the parliament to analyze what happened and to help define what we could or should change to learn and to move forward. So this is the national situation. Lots of different organizations participating in different levels, but goes from small municipalities, the firefighters, the volunteer firefighters are more than 200 different independent organizations. The main ones that work nationwide, you probably were hearing right after, the Forest and Conservation Institute, the National Emergency Authority, and the National Guard, which has a specific branch related with rural fires. And all the others or organizations are also really important on that, but the previous system were based on these three branches, and now it's just a bit wider. So we have these 4 levels of planning: a national planning with a strategic coordination and design of policies, a regional planning with some adaptation, so 5 different regions in Portugal, with an adaptation, because we are a small country, but really, really different from north to south. 23 sub-regions that allow an operational planning, more hands-on approach, and then 268 municipalities. There are more in the islands, but in the continental Portugal, we have 268 that have a planning specifically for execution and operations. So this change on the approach that we had this need of, with all the organizations and all the entities and agents that were already working on wildfires, we the 2 independent commissions wanted to have a specific approach, not separating or not individualizing what is rural fire management and the protection of the infrastructures of people, but trying to increase the specialization on those 2 branches. So probably the same people that were here in 2016 and 17, the same organizations, but increasing the specialization where they work in these 2 main branches. So rural fire management, wildfires, bushfires, what you want to call it, and then rural fire protection, which is the protection of people and their own belongings. And also this chain of value that you probably already knew about this and in several other different documents, but empowered or increased by these 3 main pillars, these 3 main branches on governance, qualification, and information and communication system. Again, all of these supported by the same organizations or more organizations that we're bringing to the table now, each one with very specific role and very clear role in each one of the levels of this chain of work. Okay. This is a short, a very brief comparison of the system we had until 2018 and the system that we have here. So we have a multi-level approach with a very well-established connection between the programs, and based on this chain value. So, and each step of this chain of value ended up of being part of the main orientations, the main goals that we develop our action plan. So first of all, valuing the rural areas. So the property, it's completely broken. Probably you already visit around, and mainly from the north of the Tejo River, so the north half of Portugal, the average size of the property is less than 2 hectares. So very, very splitted property, and with an added difficulty of it's difficult to know the owner of the property, because if there is no value, the inheritance process doesn't work, and it's difficult to add value and to maintain and to increase the economical profit from the land, from the property. So after that, an active management, we only manage what we give value. So only if it's valuable to us, we do any kind of management. Another branch, which is the change of behaviors. I will speak a little bit more after this on this specific matter, but we needed a change of behavior. We are Mediterraneans. We use fire with a lot for everything. We use fire for burn a pile of leaves. We use fire to burn trash. We use fire to renew pasture land. So we have lots of ignitions in Portugal, and one of the goals was to change these behaviors, and added with that the accidental ignitions that we have mainly connected with the use of machinery. But one of the goals was to reduce this amount of ignitions, mainly in the days of bigger or increased fire risk, and then an efficient management of risk, not just only suppression, but to have all the organizations connected with suppression, connected with the land management, and to increase this efficient risk management. So this is like a chain, it's like a stepping stones where we can pass from one to another. And that ended up being the 4 main goals used in our national plan for integrated rural fire management, where it's very clear what is the vision, the mission, and the principles. So the main goal is to transform Portugal, protect Portugal against big events of wildfires. The human losses will be just sporadic events. We probably will have that, but sporadic events, it's unacceptable to have another year of 100 deaths related with wildfires. The foundation of change, like I was explaining a little bit here, the strategy, the main targets, the main legislative impacts, and where we want to need it or needed to change, a process for monitoring and evaluation, and all the major processes. So these 4 main blocks of goals ended up on 93 different projects. So we have 93 national projects that were after that split to all the regions and sub-regions and municipalities that are still working on that. but this is available in English if you want to use it and download it. It's available at our webpage. Sorry, this slide is in Portuguese, but again, those are the main expected results. So increase the economical value of the forest, reduce the number of ignitions during summer, increase the knowledge of the property, of the ownership, reduce the number of rekindles after fires. So support population on using fire when they want to do a burn, an extensive burn, for example, for renewed pasture land, to have this kind of mechanisms where the population could be supported on that. So these are the main expected results separated on these 93 different projects. Sorry, this slide is in Portuguese. And in 2023, there was a conference in Oporto, and it was produced this landscape fire governance framework that was signed by several different organizations, and are more or less the same guiding principles that we use it here in Portugal, and could be translated or could be adjusted to another different countries. So this was in 2023. After that, FAO, the EU, other countries, for example, Spain has his own approach on this framework. So it's like one of the first seeds on making this approach to have like more well-connected prevention and suppression of wildfires, and to increase the knowledge, to reduce the risk, and to add value for the property. Also another slide in Portuguese. This is available online, so this is already results. We have a system for reporting, and these are the results on 2024. The results of 25 will be produced in the next month or so. So we ended the report during the month of January, and the report for 25 will be public soon. But in here we can see these 93 projects is being executed, how much it costed, comparing with the goals that we set in 2020, how is it working, if we are on the good track or not. But this is open information. So all the organizations that are part of the system could see more detail on each one of the programs, but this is well spread documentation information that it's available to the public. And also this is our open information website. So SEGIF is the Portuguese system for integrated rural fire management. Portugal Chama, it's the main communication program for the public. And then we have this, I don't know if you can see the mouse here. This is just one part of the information that is available to the public. You can see with detail up to the municipality, the number of ignitions compared with different years, the causes that were investigated. So in here is just one of the graphics that are available there, just to show you that we have very big fires in 2003, 2005, and then a few years with more or less the average, that we hope that it's not the average anymore. Very big fires in 2017, and then again a few years below average, and then 24 and 25 a little bit over the average that we probably will still have, and all the other countries, it's well related with the climate and meteorology and how the summer it is. But this graph is here specifically to compare. The yellow line, it's the number of ignitions. And you can see one of the immediate results that we could achieve in Portugal with the cooperation of all the citizens and all the entities, it's this reduction of more or less 60% on ignitions, and the same, and this is our main focus, the reduction of ignitions in the days with higher fire risk. So this is just one of the graphics, but all of this information, it's available. You can consult it, you can see it, you can separate by regions, sub-regions, municipalities. So everything it's available. It's also a part of the mechanism that we want to work. So I hope it helped. Again, sorry for making me change the program. I'm sorry for being a little bit delayed, but thank you. And all the information, it's available on the website. So, yeah.
Thank you, João. There's no problem to change the program. We understand and we appreciate your effort to be here, even with other commitments at the same time. But anyway, thank you for your effort. Because you have to leave, I would open the floor for questions directly to João, because after that he will not be in here.
Sorry.
So, okay, so we have to, but I would open before while I open the question and answers button. I would ask to the public if you have any question to João Quadrado, because you have to tell it now or.
I get one question.
Yeah.
How was it difficult to change the approach political level?
It's a trick question. It's a trick question. After the fires in 2017, we as a country saw it as a challenge. It's unacceptable to have this kind of events again in Portugal. So our agency, the AGIF, was created directly under the Prime Minister with this kind of, not overview, but cross connection with all the other ministries. Because it's important on the economic side, it's important on the environment side, it's important on the emission side, and not just on preparedness, response, and fire and fuel management. So it's something above that. Well, 2017, it was 9 years ago. So we slowly had like a decrease on importance. We had COVID, we had the war on Ukraine. So it started as this is the main challenge for Portugal for the next years. And now, okay, this is something could not be solved in 1 year. We still want to focus on that. We still need to work on that. But we don't have, or at least not as visible, we don't have the same political support we had it in 2017, because it was an immediate impact and it was really needed to make a change. But again, we do this at a generational gap, not as a cycle of political terms. So it takes so long to change the forest.
I don't know. Now we have 4 questions here from the people that is attending remotely, or you select some, or so you have about 4 minutes.
Okay, so one very quick, the Wildfire 2023, it's not working, but you can find the information on the other website, the SGAIFR, SGAIFR. So probably you can find the reports over there. The burning hectares going up, but the number of ignitions is going down. So this is again a tricky question. Probably you saw that right after 2017 we had a decrease on the burned area, mainly because people were really aware of the fire risk after the events that we had in 2017. We had COVID, so less people outside, less use of machinery. So that was an immediate impact. And the number of ignitions were decreased mainly, I think, because the number of the effort that was made by all the organizations on communicating the information on reducing the ignitions, reducing the pile burnings. You need to report that on the platform. And again, was a big impact for the country after 2017. Okay, the main challenges to convince the public of the results of the study. So this is not a study. It's a strategy that Portugal is doing. It has a commitment at the political level, at all the other organizations that are here. So I was saying that the national program has 93 projects. These 93 projects, so there are more than 200 different organizations working on these 93 projects. So it's a proper commitment by the whole society on working on that. So again, we had very good results at the beginning, not as good right now. Also depend on the meteorology and also depend on the fire weather risk during summer. But I think slowly we are doing that. And as I was saying, it's a generational change, not from one year to another. So another question is prescribed fire application, especially in areas experiencing some growth. Okay, Portugal has probably the colleague that will speak after from the Forest and Conservation Institute that manages these prescribed burning activities. So Portugal has a lot of regulations and legislation relating with prescribed burning. Not saying that it's bad. I think it's a very, very good strategy and it's working very well. But because everyone uses fire, we need to create this strategy to conduct prescribed burning as safe as possible. And prescribed burning has an important role on the program, on the national program, but it's not applicable all across country. So I will say that the north of Portugal, the center of Portugal, mainly the mountainous regions, could have, and they have prescribed burning as an important tool to manage fuel, but it's as important as the use of grazing, is as important as the creation of landscape mosaics or mosaics at the landscape level. It's as important as improving the water systems and the vegetation around rivers and streams. So this is one more tool that it's being used. I usually say that's one of the cheapest and with better results. But again, it's not a silver bullet. It's being used. Right now, we had, not today that we have, since we have a little bit of rain, but since Sunday or Saturday probably. Usually I check this information, and since Saturday, we had a huge increase of number of activities related of the use of prescribed burning to reduce the amount of fuel. Okay.
Just let me add that in 3 presentations, so João Prinho from the National Forest Services will talk about prescribed burn. So you will have that issue. Okay, and I believe that's all. So thank you very much. Okay. And let's clap.
Okay. Thank you. Again, sorry.
Miguel, thank you very much. So now the next presentation will not be in person. It will be from the Civil Protection Authority, Alexandre Penha, that is online, attending online. Just let me... Alexandre, can you hear us?
Sim, conseguem me ouvir também?
Yeah. So please try to, because we had some technical problems and that's why we delayed 5 minutes this meeting. Sorry for that. But so we are having problems with the sound. So if you could speak a little bit louder, would be nice.
Yeah. Can you understand me now, or should I change the microphone?
I believe it's fine. I
Yeah?
believe it's
Okay. Okay.
thank you.
So I'm able to share my screen, right? First of all, hello, everybody. My name is Alexandre Panha. I'm one of the National Operations Assistants here on the National Command of the National Authority for Emergency and Civil Protection. In my daily work, I'm one of the duty officers of the National Command, but also connected with the relation with Academy and projects for implementation of new decision support systems. My video is froze. I don't know if you are hearing me and seeing me. I think the person's outside, yes, but the room, I think it's frozen. Should I continue? Can I have some response from the room?
Alexandre, então, tivemos aqui um percalço com o Zoom, está bem?
Ok, ok.
Só um
Então,
segundo a ver se
eu espero. Ok.
Sorry. Mas eu espero que esteja grande, porque eu agora não posso desligar. E colocar é bastante grande. Eu vou aqui buscar uma. E agora, o que é que eu posso desligar? Tenho ainda assim. Ali, mas que chega. Não está cheio. Não estou. Vamos ver se o portátil está ligado. Não sei se chega lá. Realização, não é? Está com os pés, mas está bom. Ok, quase.
Alexandre?
Sim.
Ok. Vamos. O projetor. Então, segundo. Sim. O cabo do projetor.
Sim, este. Sim.
Não precisa de adaptar. Isso é isso.
Agora posso carregar.
Está no ar. Está a ver.
Está em.
Não era
Está
este.
expandido. Passar a duplicado.
Está bem.
Sim, sim, sim. Mais rápido. Duplicado. Está lá, está aqui.
Está bom? Está bom? Acho que sim. Está a ser bom.
Sim, o que está aqui, o que está na coisa.
Ok. Então vá, forte, Alexandre. As nossas desculpas.
Not the problem. Like in all good events, Murphy is always invited and likes to show the presence. So that's normal. So as I was saying, sorry not to be present there in the seminar, but today we had the presentation of the new Minister of Interior in our headquarters. So that's why I'm not present there with you to be in real life with you. So I will share my screen, and I think I can do it. Please confirm me that you are seeing the presentation.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, okay. So the idea today was not to present the civil protection system and the way that we work in the wildfires, but take two good examples. What are we doing in Portugal that can be used as case studies for expand our knowledge to other countries? So the agenda will be simple. Some words about what is the National Authority for Emergency and Civil Protection, and then talk about the project Safe Village, Safe People, implemented after the fires of 2017, and then the bilateral agreement that we had with Spain that allows us to respond and aid our neighboring country in the case of the forest fires. So first of all, National Authority for Emergency and Civil Protection, a huge name. Just to say that we are entity of the state that is working directly under the Ministry of Interior with the mission to plan, coordinate, and implement emergency and civil protection policies in Portugal, especially related with the response for major accidents and disasters. One of the other missions that we have is to oversight the firefighters' activities in the country in the response to major events. And the third one, in case of crisis or war, conduct the planning and coordination of the national needs for helping the citizens. So the National Authority for accomplishing these missions articulates and coordinates the actions of different entities, public and private that can aid us on the resolution of the events and to guarantee the protection of our citizens. Sorry. So these are just some images of our activity relating to the activity itself. So the risks that Portugal is prone to are the ones on over the green box. So meteorological events, transport accidents, wildfires, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis. One more prone to happen than others. The one that we are known for is the wildfires, and is one thing that every summer affects our country and stretch our resources to respond to it. If you can now focus on the graphic that we have on your left on the top, this is the activity for civil protection since 2006. And as you can see, we are having a trend of increasing the numbers, reaching nowadays, and this is the numbers of 2025, over 1.5 million of events that need to be responded with the assets of the different entities. Specifically related with wildfires, as you've already shown, the graphic here is just the numbers of calls that we have to respond to wildfires that after the evaluation can be classified as other thing. But as you can see, the number of calls of last year was almost 1 million, but even though is under the average of the last 10 years. As talked before, we have a good capacity to respond to new events and to resolve the fires under the 90 minutes, the initial attack. But even though some major events escape us, like we had last year on August, and we have some critical wildfires in the country. So focusing now on the situation of the Safe Village, Safe program, Safe People program. Like I said, this was a program created after 2017, after the huge number of deaths that we have on some rural villages on our country. That made us rethink how can we capacitate these persons to respond better to the events of wildfires. So two approaches were thought. The first one, the Safe Village dimension, which the main goal is to establish structural measures for the village itself, for the persons and the property. And the idea was take the experience that we had already of measures in the urban fires and the security for urban fires, and rethink them and apply it to the villages itself. So create places for the persons to convene when a fire is occurring, establish safe routes for that persons, identify critical points, and prepare the persons. So in the preparation of the persons, we are entering on the second dimension of the program, and it's a dimension that aims to promote the awareness raising of the persons itself, and to encourage them to be the ones responsible for their protection, and to implement measures that can facilitate their protection in case of wildfires, and always with interaction with the local authorities. So in this area, we implemented evacuation drills, seminars, awareness raising campaigns for the persons to be better prepared. So the main target of this program is the small and isolated communities that have a urban interface with the forest, and that are prone for just a minute, and are prone for the situation to be exposed to wildfires. So these communities tend to have older population and some of them with physical limitations that need more care to be prepared to respond to their own protection. The stakeholders involved in these campaigns and these programs, the first one is ourselves, the National Civil Protection, with the overall coordination of the program and with the mission to implement the strategic guidelines and the campaigns. Second, the municipalities and parishes that should implement the programs at local level and have a direct link with the population. And then the entities that are responding to the wildfires, like the fire brigades, the Forest Service, the National Guard, and the forest owners. Not forgetting that the citizens are the focus for all this program and are the main driver for the program to work. Regarding the citizens itself, one of the major pieces of all this program is the local safety officers, that are persons that live in that communities and have the capacity to be a liaison between the entities that work on the fires and the community itself, and can support the activities as the public warning, and in case of fire to conduct the evacuation and the shelter in place operations. So facts and figures from this program. Nowadays, over almost 2,500 villages have joined the program. There are more than 2,200 local safety officers nominated and prepared to respond. More than 3,000 shelters or places of refuge was implemented and identified on the communities, and warning mechanisms were established inside of these communities with the local authorities. Since 2017, there were implemented over 1,000 evacuation plans, more than 700 drills that involved over 18,000 citizens, and 1,100 awareness actions with the involvement of over 40,000 citizens. So other activities that were also developed inside of this program, the development and distribution of awareness materials, leaflets in different languages, because we know in some of our communities we have also persons that come to Portugal from other countries. That was also created and distributed evacuation kits for the communities, especially to the places where the persons should aggregate in case of fire. Material for the liaison officers, the security officers to have, megaphones, a vest to be identified. National awareness campaigns on the TV and radio were implemented, and we also have a website where you can find all the information about the program itself and the awareness material that was developed. So as national perspective, this was one survey implemented in 2022 with the local authorities. We found out that this program fostered a greater awareness in the rural population, encouraged the management of the forests around the villages to better avoid the risk, and triggered the identification of places for the protection of the personnel's shelter, refuge, and the identification of evacuation routes. Also, it was identified that this program promoted changes related to the use of fire, specifically, and this was related to was a result of the awareness raising campaigns. So the program has also an overview from abroad, from different entities, the G20, the OECD, and the European Commission and World Bank. And as you can see on the comments, all of them have a good review of the program itself, and specifically because of the results that have been implemented on the rural communities. So changing now from this topic to the international cooperation, these slides show you the different views of international cooperation that Portugal has, being the bilateral agreements one of them, and the cooperation with international organizations. Bilateral agreements specifically are defined with some characteristic associated with civil protection, and the one that we are using the most since its implementation are the bilateral agreement with Spain and with Morocco that allows us to aid these countries, but also to request aid in case of need. And one example was last year with the fires of August. Morocco's aided us with 2 Canadairs. Spain was not able because it was involved also with their own forest fires, but in 2024 was one of the countries that were responding in our help in the case of forest fires. Besides the bilateral agreements, we also cooperate with other international organizations, being the UCPM, the European Civil Protection Mechanism, the one that they use the most, not only to request assistance, but also to provide assistance to other member states, participating states, or even countries outside of the borders of the European Union. Regarding specifically the bilateral agreement with Spain, this agreement was revised in 2019. It was already proved its huge use on different occasions, 2017, 2018, and in 2029 was a revision to increment the capacity for both countries to cooperate in the case of the planning, the risk definition, and the operational response. One of the major changes on the operational response was the expand of the border area from the 15 kilometers to 25 kilometers, which means that Portugal and Spain can exchange capacities in the border, not needing to go over a very long process. One call from one sub-regional command to a sub-delegate of the Spanish government is enough to promote the exchange of capacities in the border. And this means that in some cases, Portugal enters Spain to fight the fires in Spain before they enter in our country, and the same happens with Spain. And this means not only ground assets, but also aerial assets. Our planes go inside of Spain, and Spain send them helicopters and planes for Portugal, for scooping and for fight the fires, which means we have a cooperation before the fire season, exchanging information with Spain about the assets that we have to fight the fires, exchanging information about the frequencies that we use and the procedures that we use to fight the fires. So this has been a huge tool for both countries in the case of wildfires near to the border. And as you can see on this chart, you have the activations of the bilateral activity on the last 3 years, with capacities from Spain coming to Portugal and from Portugal going in Spain. 2 types of activations can be made. The first one, it's a national request, is the national authority that use this type of activation, and it's used mainly for complex situations. and for a reinforcement of the national resources. In these resources, we are talking about, by instance, Canadair or the capacity from UMI from Spain, of, in case of Portugal, the aerial assets, the Fireballs or Canadair to go to Spain, or the usage of the assets from the National Guard or the our special force of civil protection to go with resources there. The type B is the one that is mainly used with the self-deployment of or regional request near to the border in the area of the 25 kilometers, and is used especially in cases of initial attack. So the procedures, like I already explained a little bit, in the type A is a more formal procedure with a request with templates that are available in the National Command in Portugal or in the DGPCE, the National Directive for Emergency Civil Protection and Emergency in Spain. Sorry that I was trying to translate from Spanish to Portuguese and from Portuguese to English. That's why the stumble on the words. But is a more formal request, but is only sending the email and receiving the confirmation of the assets on the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. The type B, as I said, is self-deployment or a request by phone for our sub-regional operation rooms to the regional counterparts in the side of Spain. So, and that's what I had to present today. And now I'm free to respond to some questions if you have some.
Thank you very much, Alexandre. Just one question for you before. Will you be here for the debate, or you have other things? Because I know that you are very busy.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll see the presentation, and I'm a bit curiosity about the two countries present also. So I'll try to be present for the debate.
Okay, thank you. So I would leave the questions for that phase, okay, just for the sake of the time. And so I will try to pass for my computer again. Minute, but next presentation will be Capitão Pedro Rodrigues. Is there? Give me only 1 minute.
Alexandre, consegue nos ouvir, não consegue? Boa.
Agora sim, tiveram algum silêncio, mas agora consigo ouvir-vos.
Está a ver aí o Zoom. Está bom. Não. No Zoom está a apresentação. Mas, sim. Está bem. Acho que estava bem. Não, não, está. Ah, pois não, está em modo apresentação. Tens que trocar. Já troquei. Ah, já está, já está. Oxe, estava difícil.
Okay, so Pedro Rodrigues from the GNR, the National Guard of Portugal. So please.
Thank you, Miguel. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to Professor Xavier Viegas. Always a pleasure to be with you and collaborate with the center. We have been collaborate with the center for many years now, and it's always a pleasure to be here with you. And we are always here for collaborate, of course. Today, I'm going to talk about the system of the integrated fire, rural fires, but in an operational way, not in the strategic way, as has been talked in the last two presentations with João and Alexandre. It will be in the operational way, and I'm going to show you how my unit collaborates and my institution collaborate in this system. So we have this agenda, the mission, the organization, the capabilities, a very brief and short presentation about our organization and capabilities of our unit. And I'm going to talk about the system. So the mission in general of Guarda Nacional Republicana. Guarda Nacional Republicana is like Carabinieri. It's a gendarme force. So we are here between the military and the police officers, and we fight fires too. So it's difficult to find in the world. Very, very unique unit. Guarda Nacional Republicana, it's a security force constituted by military elements that are organized in a special body of troops which actively and permanently veil for the execution of the law and are dedicated to the security and public order maintenance, as well as the protection and defense of the people and their goods. It's the main mission of GNR, okay? So, as I said before, it's an institution here between security forces and military forces. We support the armed forces too, as a military that we are, and we are a police officers too. So, in the mission of our military way, we collaborate for years in these scenarios with the armed forces. Now we don't make it too much in nowadays, but we already been in the Kosovo, Bosnia, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Timor-Leste. About I don't know, but maybe 10 deployments. So it's our friends from the world. Okay, we have Guardia Civil, Guarda Nacional Republicana, Carabinieri, Gendarmerie. We are all near. The mission are very similar. And my unit is a specialized unit from Guarda Nacional Republicana, and the specific mission is to carry out prevention and intervention actions to the national territory. We've been in this system for 20 years now, and we spread for Portugal, all the territory in 2018. In situations of serious accident and catastrophe, namely in the occurrences of forest fires, hazardous materials, floods, earthquakes, search and rescue in different environments, I'm going to share a very brief explanation about our mission. We have these maybe major four missions: hazardous materials, search and rescue in urban, mountain, underwater environment, waste collection, fire suppression activities, in first response and extended combat too. Our organization has unit in all the territory in Portugal. We have these protection and relief intervention companies. It's 8 companies with the platoons, okay? And we have 4 heavy intervention companies that mainly work in the wildfires, okay? In the big wildfires. And then we have this emergency intervention company that has these all specific missions as hazmat, urban search and rescue, USAR teams, special underwater operation unit, and the mountain search and rescue in now three locations. That is Serra da Estrela, Gerês, and Madeira. We collaborate too in the international way, in the European Civil Protection Mechanism. Now we have 3 models that are certificated. We have the ground forest firefighting and the ground forest firefighting with vehicles, and CBRN detection, only the detection now. And we are trying to certificate and work in the USAR CBRN environment, and medium USAR, we are trying to certificate that these models. This is a schedule, a calendar for our missions and exercises in the international way. We put it Madeira too, because it was in a force that came together, that went together to Madeira, and we always try to train this deployment. That is a deployment near to all the deployments to international way, because we made it with a plane, and our mission is always we are just in how can I say it? Sorry, Miguel, help me. Quer dizer que estamos autónomos.
We are autonomous.
Thank you. I want to refer here to the mission in Turkey too, because it was a really hard mission with the deployment of our USAR model, not certificated yet, but we went together with the authority, and we went to Chile and Canada, the two in 2023, to fight fires with them. So the capabilities. We're trying to now organize our unit in capabilities and models, as military always does. So we have this C3 module, command, control, and communication post, land-based and heli-borne rural firefighting, USAR teams, mountain search and rescue in underwater environment, hazardous materials, UAS teams, and technical assistance and support. So very brief, the forest fires. We have this first response with helicopter and small vehicles. We have this extended combat with heavy vehicles, and we can do it like direct or indirect combat. We have this fire analysis and the fire suppression way to do. And then we have the mountain search and rescue. With we can work in scarps, canyons, caves, all the environment. Scuba diving, that's a very tiny nuclear that we have that make some things that we cannot be. It's hard to find in other institutions. Not the search and rescue on the water and underwater, but We can do it in the judicial inspection too, and to take some samples and analyze in the underwater the hazmat, the CBRN scenarios, and detection, discontamination. In the COVID, we work a lot with the CBRN, all the countries. Our UIS teams, we have a national and international capacity too. We start working with this capacity in Mozambique in 2019 with the floods. User team, as I said, we went to Turkey, we went to Morocco too with a small force. And about the system, what we do in the system as an operational way. So our institution has a lot of valence that can work together in this integrated rural fire management system. We have the structural prevention with the sensibilization. It all starts with the sensibilization. The operational prevention that we have, that is mostly surveillance, detection, and inspection. And then we have the combat, where my unit inserts the first response and the extended combat, temporary control and evacuation of populations. We can do it all. And the post-accident incident with the investigation and validation of burn areas with our unit, our service of protection of natural environment. So we have these 5 phases. For the forest fire intervention, the management of planning, and this takes a lot of time to plan. It's a big operation through the year. So the second phase, it's the full management prevention with prescribed fires in some locals, mostly government locals that we can clear for burn in the winter, and of course we don't have to combat in the summer. The third phase, the preparedness, awareness, and the surveillance, we do it like in some phases, but through the very shortly a month. The fourth phase, we have the pre-suppression and surveillance, and then suppression and relief in first response and extended response. Heliborne and heavy teams intervention. Our first response heliborne teams, I put it in some topics. They are a specialized group composed of 5, 8 or more personnel. Usually we fight with 5 military, transported by helicopter, forming an inseparable air-ground unit, because it's the most important to have this connection with the helicopter and the teams to respond. Our primary mission is the first response intervention in rural fires. Ground operations carried out using manual tools. We use a lot of, mostly is manual tools, and the support of the helicopter with the water. And it's led by a team leader operating on the ground and always connecting with the pilot. So it all starts with the incident, okay? Then the response is called by the authority. The authority is the ones that call us to go to the incident. We have this 2 minutes later to receive the call and initiate the process of the first response. Then we have the first response calling the incident. It's about 10 minutes to go. Yeah? And then maybe more or less like a 40 kilometer way, yeah, 40 kilometer way. So mostly it's near to the base, but sometimes we can go further. And then 3 fire departments closer to the incident are called to respond to the incident too, and to support the heliborne team. We have here some images of the first response mission and on the ground. We can do it about 90 minutes. It's the time that the helicopter can fight. And then we have the extended combat too, with a specialized group composed of mostly 44 personnel, 11 vehicles, and we can fight fires for. Now we are doing it with no interruption, but mostly every unit can do it by 26 hours straight. We have here, an animation, but we are here in Serra da Estrela. You can see that we can do it in all the environments and using manual tools. But it all happens with interoperability with all the agents of the system. It seems, of course, I'm calling for my unit to say that we are the best, but we don't work alone. We work with the other entities, and it's that interoperability that can make the success. And of course, the objective is always the citizen. As you can see, our operational activity is mostly based in wildfires, then shortly protection and relief and security, because we are a security force too, but mostly it's wildfires through the sun. Of course, it's not just a lot of fun, our work. We have always to remember our colleagues that will always be in our memories, because in 2024 we lose them in an accident in Douro River, in a crash of the helicopter, and we have to. They will be always part of our history. And then to make the things more fun, I'm going to present you a short video. Yes.
Sure. I'm not sure if the people attending remotely, if they can. But anyway, it's just music. For those that are attending remotely, do not worry, because it's just music. So, and images, of course. It's command and control Okay, let's. So once again, because Pedro Rodrigues has to leave, so I would ask the floor for questions, for very quick questions? I don't know if there is someone from the public attending in person. No?
One question.
Please, Borut.
I have questions, sorry.
Don't worry.
So it's about the chain of command when you arrive in the city. Who is the boss?
Yeah,
Let's say about Wildfire. So
yeah. Okay. When we first get to the incident, if we are alone, we are of course the mainly incident command. What our system said, it's the first fireman response to the incident that is called for the incident command, and then we went through some phases with of course when we put more guys in the scene, we have to go to some phases till the national command. Okay? But mostly it's the firemen that command the incident. Yeah. From the local units, yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Any other question from people attending in person, please?
Do you have also more on prevention or mainly on?
Yeah, we have every day our patrols make prevention too, and we call the armed prevention because we are on the scene and we can fight the fire if we see it too, and it's this duality as we have the prevention and the combat.
These technicians. So we have two questions here from the people attending remotely. So one from Steen Myers. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. So which command and control platform is being used at a national level?
Yeah, the platform is called Monitorização. It's a platform from the authority, national authority. So all the entities when they arrive to the scene and work with the platform, they can all put the information, and the authority that it's the main coordinator of the event can see all the information and decide the better way they can.
Very well. So we also have two questions from Steen Myers, but I will merge both. That is related to the use of drones in the first intervention and also in the wildfire response in the extended.
Yeah, in the first intervention, it's quite difficult to use the drones because of the quickness that we need, and it's most muscle than strategic way. It's mostly muscle. So we don't use drones in the first response. But then in the extended combat, we always use drones to make our. It's like to see from above what is happening and to decide without have to make a lot of hours in our patrols to see all the fire. It's easier for us.
Yeah, to monitor. Okay, I saw that Alexandre Panha raised a hand, maybe to answer to that question of, please. I cannot hear you. Just wait.
Sorry, too many buttons. Too many buttons to push. Just to complement my colleague from the National Guard, in the case of the national platform, besides the idea of only one platform, is the best thing that we have is this sharing of information. So even with the FAB Monitorização, like it was mentioned, we are always sharing information with other entities, with the National Guard, with the ECNF, through the systems. More than to have just one is to share the information that we have. The second thing is about the drones. Like it was said, on the initial attack, it's difficult because we are trying to implement the aerial assets the fast as possible. But we have implemented with the guys of the National Guard the capacity to collect the situational awareness in the helicopters. So the military guys from the National Guard has the capacity to take photos and do small clips of video that is implemented in the platform that was already mentioned. And then we are implementing over the operation, monitoring airplanes with the capability of streaming and multi-sensor cameras to gather more information about the development of the fire. So we try to avoid the conflict between aerial assets on the beginning of the incident, and the drones are mostly used on the patrolling and monitoring prior to the events, or in the nighttime, because in the nighttime we don't have the problem of the aerial conflict between different assets, and we are using it to gather information when we don't have other capacities to gather that information. And it just was only for complement the response.
Thank you, Alexandre. So once again, thank you. And now I would call João Pinho from the ICNF. That is the Institute for the Conservation of Forests and Nature.
É o último complicado, onde é que está? É porque tu mete assim aqui. Há de ser a última. Se metes aqui, não é? Isto é lá. Isso é já assim.
Please, João.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, I'd like to thank Professor Xavier Viegas for the invitation to be here on behalf of the board of the Institute. I will try to be brief because we are a bit out of schedule, but
Aqui, talvez? Não está, não. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's the decision.
Okay. Portugal is a country mainly Atlantic. It is divided in three main regions: the mainland in the continental Europe, then the Azores Islands, and then the Madeira Islands. In my presentation, I will refer mainly to the mainland. In Azores, we don't have a fire problem. It's a quite wet climate, wet summers. Only in very dry years or after severe and prolonged droughts, we have a fire problem in Azores. Unlike Azores, Madeira has a huge fire problem. It's subtropical climates with very steep terrain, and as well as other regions in mainland Portugal, it's quite prone to fires. So in our country, which is mostly forested, we have fire problem in the mainland and in the Madeira Islands. The National Institute for Nature Conservation and Forests, it's a very old agency. We have more than 200 years. We have been managing forests and protected areas since the beginning of the 19th century. And our main mission is to have wise management of the natural resources regarding forests and nature conservation also. We are the national authority on forests and nature conservation. Regarding rural fires, we have our main responsibility is to manage the rural fire management within the rural spaces, which means that everything which deals with fire management in natural areas, it's under the ICNF management. We are a national service in the mainland, because in the islands, the regional governments, they are autonomous. So the policy for rural fire management, it's within the regional governments and the regional assemblies, even though we have links with our colleagues in Madeira and Azores. We have two main departments in ICNF regarding forest fires, which is the National Direction, which is mainly a body for rural fire management policy implementation, and also to have technical guidelines from the national to the sub-regional levels, and also the forest firefighters force, which are firemen that are specialized in fighting for forest fires. And it's a new unit that was created about 6 years ago. We have about 2,500 people working under the ICNF coordination. They have different kinds of training. They have different missions regarding the management of fire, not only in summer, but also in winter. For example, some of them are specialized in first response. They are forest workers that are always in the forest. And if they are in summer, they are first responders because they are always there. For example, they are under the coordination of the National Republican Guard within the national system of vigilance, and they are also armed so that if they spot a fire, they immediately attack the fire. We also have, as I told earlier, the forest fighters unit that also do extended firefighting. And we have a large group of highly trained technical staff, which are essential to keep all the prevention work and coordinating the firefighters that in summer are responsible for firefighting within the National Authority for Civil Protection. We make about 20% of the national forces for firefighting and about 50% of the forces for vigilance in summer. We are now investing a lot with mechanization, with heavy machines, so that our efficiency can be improved, not only for fire prevention, for example, fuel management, but also firefighting. We have this year 28 machines that are under the command of the National Authority for Firefighting, and also post-fire treatments, because we are responsible for post-fire treatment in our country. We are coordinating all the entities that deal with post-fire management also. So then I go to the Portuguese forest. It's a quite diverse forest. The forest types of the islands are not shown here. This is only in the mainland, and we have more temperate kind of forests in the northwest and in the northern part of the country and in the mountains. And then we have more Mediterranean type forests in the southern part and in the interior part of the country. About 75% are autochthonous species, and we have also a lot of species from every corner of the world, because our climate is quite good for forests. We don't have difficult winters, very cold winters, and species like eucalyptus, gum trees from Australia, or other species even from subtropical areas, they grow quite well in our country. And they are, in some cases, the basis for very important industrial activities. In the southern part of the country, forests are more open. The fuel load, it's not so high. And we can find some forest systems that are quite unique in the world. For example, you can see in the photograph in the center, in the down part of the slide, the cork oak, which is stripped every 9 years to give cork, the cork of commerce. We were not a forested country until about 100 years or 150 years ago. We had a great effort on afforestation, and our forests grew a lot in area and also mainly in the last 50 years in the fuel loads, because as we will see in a few moments, our forests are privately owned. And so people use the forests for their livings, for their family, for their agricultural activities.
Eu estava a projetar só outra parte. Desculpa. Qual é isto? Desculpa. Não, estava. Eu tinha duplicado só. Agora é que estou.
Okay. So, as I was talking, only 3% of the forests are state-owned or owned by public entities. 97% it's private-owned or communal lands, forests, unlike almost other countries in the world. So, in Portugal, when we want to implement forest policies or policies regarding forest fire protection, we always have to deal with private owners and all the stakeholders that have the duty to implement all the laws and all the regulations and all the forest management activities. One of our problems, and this is a project that is nowadays being implemented, it was created after the fires of 2016. It's the Puppy project, because in the northern half of the country, we don't know who are the owners, who are the forest owners. We don't have an official land registry. And that was one of the main aspects that was putting a lot of difficulties in the implementation of the forest policy. So we have an almost 10-year project with the voluntary declaration of the forest plots. And after these 10 years, we have about 3.2 million plots already in our system. We in the Forest Service use this information, and all the information that the Forest Service also collects is given to this BUPI project. And it's financed also by the Recovery and Resilience Program with European funds. And in the pictures, you can see how fragmented is the forest property in our country, mainly in the northern and central part of the country. Another important aspect is the fuel loads in our landscapes. This western part of Europe has a lot of forest productivity is quite high. We have wet climates. Just for example, in the last 30 days in my meteorological station, I had 900 millimeters in just 30 days in this January and February. So the climate in Portugal is quite wet in the winters and all year round. But it has a problem that is about 2 months that are dry in summer. but this generates a very high forest productivity, which is used for forest management and forestry. We have a lot of trees that grow quite rapidly here, eucalyptus, the gum trees, and others. So our private forests it makes sense. But on the other hand, we have a very intense fuel accumulation. And so, for example, if we superimpose the western part of North America with Europe, we can see that the regions where the huge fires happen are exactly in the same latitude and in the same location in Portugal, in Spain, and also in California or Western United States. It's a geographical feature that we share with other regions in the world. For example, we've seen here the problem of our colleagues in Chile, which have a similar climate. And this is the main cause, because Portugal is a bit a champion in Europe regarding forest fires. And because, and the reason why in Europe we show the highest fire hazard. And so it's a feature that we must live with. It's an ecological factor, and we must manage and learn to live with fire. This is the statistics, the series of wildfires, since we have general statistics for all the lands of the country since 1968, and we can see that fires affected in a growing way until 2005. We already was spoken here that 2003 and 2005 were very difficult years regarding forest fires. Then they decreased, it's decreasing, but we still have difficult years ahead, because with the right conditions, with the right meteorological conditions, after severe droughts or in weeks with very difficult meteorological conditions, we can set again difficult fire seasons, as it was in 2017 and also in 2025. Which are the main fire causes regarding the burning area and also the weather severity? Arson it's the cause that gives more burned area. Even though, for example, last year the main cause was lightning. Most of the burned area last year, it was caused by lightning. It's not common, but in some years it happens. And other fire causes are also quite important, like rekindle from previous fires, and also the use of fire for agricultural activities and grazing activities. And following this, I will present some examples that of projects that we created to address these main fire causes in our country. The first project I'd like to show you, it's the working groups for the reduction of ignition in rural areas. It's quite important because it's a joint effort from the Portuguese Civil Investigation Police, the National Guard, and the Forest Service. So these are joint teams gathering the information in these three entities, working along with municipal entities, and it has been quite effective going after the arsonists and also the use of fire in mountain areas where it's more difficult to control the unwanted ignitions. It's a project that was enlarged last year because it was quite successful. Addressing rekindle control, after the 2017 fires, we created special forest sappers teams that were specially trained for rekindle control. We can see them working in our only national park in the northern part of the country, which has a lot of remote areas that needs this kind of work. And without this kind of work, the fires could not be dealt efficiently, and rekindles are quite common. And after that 2017 year, we have been successful preventing the rekindles. And it's not the only project that tries to address the rekindle, but it is quite contributive to this objective. Then, after also the fires of 2017, we created a fire permit and communication platform, because the law, the National Assembly, said there couldn't be any more fires in the landscape without a permit, or at least without a communication. So everyone who wants to make a burn, wants to make a grazing burn, must firstly communicate. I will do this the next day or 2 days ahead. And the local authorities will accept or will give the permit if it is the case, regarding the time of the year. In the summer, it needs a permit. It's been quite successful, because with the National Guard also making the law enforcement in the ground, everybody knows that nowadays making a fire in Portugal needs to be within this platform. For example, this year, this week, we had a record of 21,000 communications in just 1 day to this platform. And all this information is given to the authorities, so that we can, for example, these blue dots and green dots are the fires that are communicated for the next 10 days. So local authorities and the law enforcement agencies know ahead if there will be in this, for example, this civil parish, if there is how many fires are planned for that day. So it's quite interesting. Other countries have this. In California also they have something like this. It's been quite effective, because as you know, a fire can be seen from a long distance. Law enforcement agencies are well trained to use these tools, and the fines also are quite important. So people obliged to this law. One thing that also is important is to use fire, because local communities, even the Forest Service, always used fire as a silvicultural tool to manage the land. So it's important to keep using fire. In this map on the left, you can see the intensity of the use of fire within our civil parishes, by civil parish. Not only official prescribed fire, but also traditional fire. Some of these fire may not be totally legal, but it's ecologically sound and contributes to the lowering of the fuels. And we try to go to these people and say, let's burn with us. And the Forest Service has special teams with forest sappers, also with firemen, and also with National Guard teams to work with these people, burning where they want to burn, not where we want to burn, but where they want to burn, where they need to be burned. And this is a successful program. We just don't have more burned area because we don't have enough people. And in some years, like this one, when it rains 2 months every day, it's difficult to implement this kind of fuel management. In the last years, we've used some projects to improve this kind of fuel management. For example, last year, we started a special program to subsidize grazing. It was a success because it has been quite difficult to keep the grazing pressure in the land. The shepherds are old. It's not a very attractive activity. And with these financial supports, we tried to give a help to the people that are still using the animals to keep the fools low. As I told some moments ago, the forest properties are very small. One of the things that keeps prevent people to invest in the management, they are so small that it's not feasible to go to European funded programs because they are quite complicated. It's very difficult to, and it has a lot of bureaucracy to implement those kind of projects. So we created last year a very simple program that it's called Active Forest Program. People take a photograph of the forest stand, they make the full management or other silvicultural activities, then they take a photograph of after the end of the work of the silvicultural works, and then they can apply to have a subsidy in order to be paid a bit for the investments of the cost of the full management. Because it was quite successful also, and probably it will be repeated in the future. Another large program that we have in our country is the implementation of very large wool breaks. It's a national program that we have in order to make breaks in the landscapes which are heavily forested. Also, it's a project that in the last 4 years was funded by the Recovery and Resilience Program with European funds. And we are capable to make a lot of these full breaks and also work in private areas. For example, 20,000 hectares correspond to 27,000 private rural parcels. We must work in these private parcels. We must give a compensation to these people. We must know who they are first, and you can imagine how difficult and how hard this kind of work is, because it's working about along with a lot of people. Another interesting program, and just finishing, it's the village condominium, which deals with rural interfaces, and we want to change the land use and the forest occupation around the small villages that are within large forest areas. It's a program also funded by the Portuguese Recovery and Resilience Program. In this image, you can see this area burned all in 2003, and these forest stands have only 16 years. The pine trees and the eucalyptus. So you can see everything regrows quite rapidly. It's not planted, it's just natural regeneration. And these small villages that are still in the rural areas must be managed so that we can have a good interface, agricultural interface, with a different type of land use. And so not the forest goes near the houses, and they can be kept safe, and saving some efforts to fighting fires within the forests. Thank you, and I'm ready for the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I would say that we could leave the questions and answers to later. So in the debate phase or something, we are a little bit out of time. So
okay.
And so I would say that now we should pass to the presentation of the Slovenian system fire risk management system. That is Simon. That it's very difficult to say the name, the affiliation, but it's Gazilska and not Nova Gorica. So it's very difficult, but anyway.
Which one? For my.
Okay. But you have to speak in you. Oh, okay, yeah, because I don't have the microphone here. So.
Yeah, I don't have other. Yeah, but I don't have any other USB.
Okay.
I'm using all of them. Which one is it?
The third one.
This?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me ask you, for those that did not sign the attendance list, yeah, it's very important for for us to have that for the project. So you will have at the end you can sign it. And there is Ricardo with the sheet, so it's there in the back of the room. So please try to sign it, please.
Okay.
Simon, go ahead.
Hello to everyone. My name is Simon Vendramin, and I'm a fire commander of one of the 14 professional fire brigades in Slovenia, from Fire Brigade Nova Gorica. Today my task is to present how we managed wildfires in Slovenia. Especially I'll talk about our organization, how we are organized from this side. So Slovenia is located in the central of Europe, surrounded by the Austria, Hungary, Croatia, and on the western part, Italy. On the southwestern part, it has also the access to the Adriatic Sea. And it's not so big country, only 2 million, approximately 2 million of people. And if we take the comparison with Portugal, it's 4.5 times smaller than Portugal. In Slovenia is divided into 212 municipalities. From the administrative perspective,
sorry, but it's not, I think the presentation, it's not being shared, no? Sorry for that, for those that are attending remotely. Technical problems today. This is not common, but we are not lucky with them. Now it is. Yeah. I think no, it's not.
It's not a problem. So Slovenia is divided in 212 municipalities. From the administrative view, it's two ties system. That means that we have the municipalities and directly the state. We do not have any regions and or provinces, but we have a lot of different regions, like statistics regions, firefighter regions, and a lot of other regions that are not the same. We will see in advance. We have a municipality and direct the state level. Despite that is so small, it's also the third most forested country in the Europe after the Finland and Sweden. The forest cover about 58% of all area. This is all forested area, of which consists of 56% of broadleaf species and 44% of coniferous species. This is on the left side. You can see where are the coniferous species. Due to the geographical location and the diversity of the terrain, is influenced by the 6 diverse types of climate. For us, if you talk about forest fire, you can see that on your left side, the sub-Mediterranean area, that is that one red, and that is effect on the fire risk of wildfires. So you can see that the weather is is affecting on the risk. In Slovenia and on this area happened more than 90% of all fires in Slovenia. Also in the past, also all biggest and largest fire. What mean for us largest fire? You can see if we talk about if we compare to Portuguese, you can see that we call that if we have more than 100 hectares, it's for us a large fire. When fire happens by us between the February and April, and from June to September, this is the period of when happened, but it depends mostly of the weather. Who is responsible in Slovenia for fighting fire? In Slovenia, the jurisdiction to fighting fire have only a fire service. Fire service is that one who is responsible also for all other types of fires, but they are assist for the from the air fighting forces from the army, Slovenian army, and Slovenian police helicopter units. After the catastrophic wildfire in 2022, our administration and protection and disaster relief organization also established a national air firefighting units. So the state brought 4 aerial forces, 4 aerial air tractors for this purpose. So this is all of our capabilities that are not so many, but here are all. But when we ask and we do a request, we in the initial phase we can get only maximum 2 or maximum 3 air tractors and only 1 or 2 helicopters, and another helicopter after 1 or 2 hours. This is all our possibilities that it's held our states to fighting fires from the air. But we have in the fire, we have also Slovenian Forest Service that is very important for us, and it do also very important tasks also in peacetime. For our aspect is also planning and management of the forest. That means also have some preventive fire protection measures. So it's planning fire access roads and fire breaks. And in case of emergency, it's also collaborating with us. We do with them in hand to hand. So they are also a member of headquarter of the intervention. So they are there to support the fire incident with all the data, with all the things what they do. So they do also some preventive measures that are written on the slide. So planning, maintaining, and constructing also the infrastructure. So also the helicopter landing sites, water resources like hydrants and water bodies, firewalls, roads, and etc. So they do also big importance to that together fight a fire. So, but if we look to this slide, the distinct roles of the Forest Service and the Fire Brigade are that the Fire Service is more focused on the preventive measures, while fire brigades are more focused on the operational level, on the operational side. So here are some different tasks that each one do. So if you go back to the fire service in Slovenia is obligatory local fire service. This means that, as I said before, we have 212 municipalities. In each of these municipalities must be a fire, at least one fire brigade that covers that area. And the responsibility of the fire service is on the municipality, is on the mayor. Mayor is responsible for the fire service. But the firefighters do also the other tasks diverse. In general, the firefighters are divided in two groups. So I say, the first one are the voluntary that are organized like an association. In Slovenia, we have 483 voluntary fire brigades. That means that in these fire brigades are 1,600 volunteers, of which are 40 to 45 operational. So we are very proud that we have so big pool of volunteers that we can activate every time, not only for the forest fires or wildfires, but also for all kinds of intervention. You can see on the next slide, you can see the location of all these, where are these fire departments or fire brigades of voluntary fire departments, but you can see the difference from east to the density of this is not. Why is this so? Because here was, after the Second World War, there was the Italy. The Italy have First World War have the fire service organized diversely, as in Slovenia. These voluntary firefighters for firefighter brigades must associate in a fighting associations, volunteers. That means that in one municipality or more municipalities in fire associations. And these fire associations must associate or regrouped in the National Fire Association, that is Gasilska zveza Slovenia, the Slovenian Fire Association of Volunteers. That means like an umbrella of all of this volunteer association. On this level, we have also a commander who play important role that we will see in advance. So we have 121 volunteer fire association on the municipality level, 17 regional volunteer fire association, and one national fire volunteer association. So this is the picture of territory of the regional fire association that are diverse of the regional and so others, so diverse. On the other side, but we have also a professional fire brigades that are only 14 in Slovenia. And also the fire brigades are associated in the Slovenian Professional Fire Association that is on the same level as Gasilska, on the other side of Gasilska zveza Slovenia. And these professional firefighters are only in the biggest city in Slovenia, and they are in all Slovenia there are around 1,000 professional firefighters. But in Slovenia it's also divided in 13 regional notification center or 13 regional administrations of administration of civil protection and disaster and reliefs. Each this region has also the notification center, so the number 112, where people call if for all kind of emergencies. This is only one number, and 113 is we have only two numbers. 112 is for all other emergencies. 113 is the police. So the firefighters, we are under the Ministry of Defense. Before 91, we were under the Ministry of Interior. And these all the notification centers from each region are connected in the National Coordination Center of Republic Slovenia, which is connecting to the ERCC to Brussels. No? Mm-hmm. So before I said that we have 212 municipalities. The mayor is that one who is responsible for the fire, for the safety in the municipality. So he must prepare under the risk assessment of disasters on the level of municipality and in the accordance with the high level risk assessment. So the national regional must prepare the emergency response plans, and in which must also write the plan of activation, who is responsible for what kind of interventions. And these documents must send to this regional notification center in which cover their municipality. So at the moment when, so in Slovenia, we have in each, if you talk, so in each municipality, 4 or 5 level of emergency. So if I call so, it depends, I will explain a little bit more detail later. So if it's come a call that that we have a fire, so the operator get that information, and if they knew in which municipality is, open these documents and see who must activate the first response. The first response is on the local competent municipality fire brigades. This means that in some cases it's only one, but in most cases are the first response they are sent to fire brigades. That one that is the central, that cover all the area of municipality, and that one that is local. So in first response we send 2 fire brigades. Incident commander, so all further activation of units, services, and all other is in the responsibility of the incident commander. So the incident commander have this that can activate through this regional notification center all other services that he needs, and also activate the highest level of the alarm in the municipality. So it can also skip if he sees that the fire is too big or too large and he needs more units. He can also immediately activate the high level of alarm. So if you have here one municipality from which I come, if there is a fire, so first, as I said, the first local competent municipal brigade unit is manned on to the site, and then is activated. The second level is that they are activated the other fire brigades that are in this municipality. The third alarm is the activation of the fire brigades from the association in which are these fire brigades in the municipality. So if the municipality have only one association, then the second and the third alarm is the same. The fourth alarm is the regional, so they is activation of all other fire brigades from that association that are in a region, and the fifth one is the activation of the national response plan. That means that must be first, if we can activate this level, must be condition fulfilled. That means that in the region are activated more than 2/3 of all units, and I need another forces, additional forces or resources. And this is the way how it's go. So the incident command through regional commander of volunteers or commander of voluntary association of Slovenia go through the civil protection commander, and he admits that the plane is activated. When the plane is activated, then the assistance is coordinating through the regional voluntary commander, fire commander, and through the commander of on the national level of volunteers. And that come from the other side of Slovenia, from the other region to help. I say, if I call from my region, my region. So we have predetermined some platoons. That means that is prescribed number and types of vehicles and number of volunteers or number of firefighters that come to assist us or to assist any region. That means that this platoon must be self-sufficient for at least 24 hours. They work on the site for 12 hours. Then came only a personnel. They change the personnel. The vehicle of that region remain on the terrain. And after 24 hours, they change all the platoon. They come the platoon from the other region. So this we learned from the experience in the past from the fire that is better that we change once only the personnel, because we have had a lot of problems to change all the vehicles on the terrain, and it was so big jam on the roads that are very narrow. So in Slovenia, every region must formate 3 platoons, at least 3 platoons, and the fire association of professionals must form 1 platoon. So if we go to some not so for us big fire, for you not so big, this is but for us is big. We have also some problems there on my region because we have so-called wind bora that is blowing more than 150 km per hour. Also some peaks for 200, and this is spreading fires so well. What I can show you from this, that this national emergency response plan, why is so good? Because, as I said, we have a big pool of volunteers. And if you see here, this is the activation of these plans, of these levels of that I spoke before, so that in so short time, we have on the terrain so many people. We don't have so many aerial forces, but we have a lot of volunteers that we can surround the fire and to put it down on the ground. So these peaks are the changes of personnel. So you can see 100, 200 personnel in 1 hour, 2 hours 350. This is from, then the next fire from 2024, also burnt area only 83 hectares. So here are also this graph of 400, 800 persons in so short 1 hour, 2 hours that we have on the site. And from these firefighting regions. And the last one is from the last catastrophic, the biggest forest fire that we had in 2024. That is, our area burned is 3,750 hectares, but we have 3 different fires that joined together and spread around, and during two weeks. But here I don't have this graph, but I have the total that we have in 14 days, 20,000 people that changes on this intervention. So when we activate the national emergency plan, we can activate also some different types of forces, services, also on the local and the level system. And when it's activated, this plan is activated also our big command vehicles with operators that need assistance. And we can also activate 2 groups of firefighters who are prepared for manage a large intervention that we need. And the best thing is that all the costs of are covered by the state, because the municipality is responsibility to fighting wildfires, but when it's national plan activated, then the cost is covered by the state. And this emergency plan is also used for all types of emergency in Slovenia. We manage the intervention under the adopted system of ICS command system from the Americans that is divided in 5 sections. The command, planning, operation, logistic, and administration and financing. We sectorize the fire ground. We do the sectorization. We put there the fire commander of the sector. We use the standardized fire vehicles and use the standardized fire equipment. We use the most now the hoses that are shown in the slide, but in the that we have also in High Mountains area also fires, and this equipment is also adapted to the this kind of area, and also some special safety equipment that we need for safety. This is some picture from the interventions, but we have also another one problems, and it is a big problem that inactivated explosive ordnance. From the risk assessments of this, from our side, you can see that the Northern Primorska region, statistical region, is most affected by this ordinance. Why? Because you must know that here 100 and a little more years ago took place a First World War, and also the Second World War, but the most are from the First World War. There are a lot of trenches, a lot of caverns, a lot of caves that you must know that this is a karstic area. And this is one map that I found, and from this map you can see this is our region that we cover, our fire brigade cover. You can see from this map some dots, red, green, blue. These are all the locations of the cannons that were in the First World War. So you can imagine this, and they estimate that on every square meter felt about 65 kilograms of explosive. So on our area, there are a lot of this unexploded ordnance, especially this Italian 75 kilograms of grenade that are without, that is called torpedina, that are without the lighter, no, without the lighter, without the cap of the lighter. What this means that if it's come a flame, that the grenade is on the ground, that have two small hoses, and that is came a flame, go inside and detonate. Between the, and also we have some hand grenades, Italian also, OTA, or we call it hand grenade tomato that are red, that are inside so tiny pin of aluminum that in 100 years is very corrosive, and if you touch it, it explodes. We have a lot of incidents between the population that touched it and exploded in their hand. They remain without a hand, without so bad injuries. Also, we have a gas grenade. We can find it on our territory that is that is filled with iperit or phosgen. And there are a lot of this ammunition that we must pay attention when we are dealing with.
Thank you very much. So once again, we will keep the questions for later. And now is Alessandro and Gregorio. You will.
Welfare management título, né?
Sim. Both presentations are in the same file?
Yeah, I don't have presentation.
Yeah. We'll start, you will start, you will start.
Okay.
No, you will
Whatever.
start.
Yeah.
Aqui não há apresentação nesta, só há do.
Estamos para buscar isto. You mind if this is?
No, it's fine because then later you will.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody. My name is Rada Orskanin. I'm representing here the municipality of Monfalcone, which is situated in the northeast of Italy, who don't know. It's bordering with Slovenia on the right and with Austria on the top. Just several words to introduce also the speeches of my colleagues. Why the municipality of Monfalcone is participating in this visit study and in this seminar. Within our municipality, we have, let's say, dedicated office that is dealing since 2006 with more than 100 projects that are funded by European funds for the territorial cooperation. They are funded by national funds and even by regional funds. And most of these projects are related to the promotional and territorial development of our territory. Only since after 2022, when we had to face in our city a big wildfire that affected our city and our territory, we realized and put in danger our citizens because the fire happened very close to the city center. We realized that we need to start to follow more projects that are related to the environmental development, and in order to face climate changes and some demographic and social changes and other issues that are causing even more and more frequently wildfire in our region. That's one of the reasons why we also started the collaboration with our Slovenian partners, municipalities, voluntaries, organizations that are dealing with these issues. And we are the partner also of the Fire SafeNet project, a project partner. Yes, and we realized also, as we are cross-border region, and we are very close to the Slovenian border, to start to intensify our collaboration, especially with Slovenian municipalities. And now within a different cross-border Italia-Slovenia projects, we are working together on our common development knowledge. We're doing some exercise in order to be ready if the next eventually disasters happened, that we can face them together at the cross-border level. Before passing the floor to my colleagues, I would like to seize this opportunity to thank you very much to your organization, to organizer of this event, and to Forest Fire Research Center, yes, of ADAI Association, that is a part of Coimbra University, because during the last 2 days, we had really profuse meetings, visit studies. We really learned a lot during this experience. Also passing through the presentation and real cases that fortunately happen in Portugal and even all around the world. So we also saw some laboratory examples, training sessions. We also visited the territories that have been affected by the fire accidents. So for us, it was a huge occasion to learn, to improve, to exchange experience. We really enjoyed a lot in this, and we acquired a lot of information that I hope will be useful for our future emergency that we are going to probably face, unfortunately face, within the next year. Thank you very much for this collaboration, for this precious occasion. And I really hope that this is just a start of our future collaboration, maybe in some other projects, and that we will have possibility to work together again and very soon. Now I would like to pass the floor to my colleague Alessandro. With me is a delegation from Friuli Venezia Giulia. Is composed by a representative from the civil protection organization, Forest Guard Unit. And then here with us is also a colleague for the Forest Fighter units. So I hope that even for them was a huge occasion, big occasion to learn and to acquire knowledge that could be useful for our future work. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Hello to everyone. I would like to start my presentation and to say that it's a true honor to be here and to have this speech. And I'm Alessandro Bertot from Civil Protection of Friuli Venezia Giulia. Friuli Venezia Giulia, for those who don't know, is a small region of Italy, located in northeast Italy. And since we are a border region, we have a special autonomy, and for this reason, our internal structure is different from other regions of Italy, and we will talk more in detail later during the presentation. So, wildfire risk in Italy. These are some data from the European Forest Fire Information System. And we can see that from January 1st to September 15th of 2025, we had 1,600 large wildfires recorded in Italy, nationwide, and a total burned area of 819 square kilometers. But not all of these areas were forested areas. Only 115 square kilometers were forested areas. Most of these wildfires occurred in southern regions of Italy, of course, because of climate conditions. And I would like to stop for a moment and define what is a forest for us. The definition of a forest for our region, this comes from our regional law, is any land with natural or artificial forest vegetation, tree or shrubs, with an area greater than 2,000 square meters and an average width greater than 20 meters, and a canopy cover exceeding the 20%. This was about Italy nationwide. Now I would like to focus on Friuli Venezia Giulia. We had a big wildfire in 2022, and it was one of the worst years for wildfires in our regions, as our Slovenian friends told before, because we had the Gorica Karst wildfire. Gorica Karst is a tiny piece of land, a borderland between Italy and Slovenia, and in fact we lost more than 40 square kilometers of forested area due to these wildfires, but only 5.5 square kilometers were in Italian territories. We also have at the same time different wildfires in our mountain area, and this caused a split of forces in our regional forces, because while the majority of our forces, along with Slovenian firefighters, were on Gorica Karst, and also with national support from Rome department, national department, which is at Rome, some of our volunteer forces were sent in our mountain area, because in fact these big wildfires happened at the same time. I also have some data that talks about our national forces, and as you can see, we used a lot our national fleet, because our small region couldn't handle on its own this big wildfire. But how does our national civil protection system work? The national civil protection has a mission, and our mission is safeguarding on human life, health, property, cultural and residential heritage, animals, and their environment from natural or human-caused disasters. In order to achieve this mission, to achieve this goal, our national department talks with public institutions and organizations, such as regions, for us, Friuli Venezia Giulia, scientific academic institutions, so university, research institutes, and of course, civil society, private companies, volunteers. And this is a big step for us to take everything under control, to have everything under control. At regional, at national level, while we talk about wildfires, this is our operational structure. So we have the Civil Protection Department that activate the state aerial fleet when regional resources are insufficient to deal with wildfires. We have SOAP, which is a permanent unified operation room, and a regional body that coordinates firefighting activities, integrating volunteer organization. We have also the National Fire Corps that intervenes in fire suppressions and the protection of infrastructure. And of course, regions such as Friuli Venezia Giulia responsible for planning and operational management of wildfires activities. We have a DOS, Director of Suppression Operations, which is a regional figure who coordinates ground teams and aerial fleet. In Friuli Venezia Giulia, DOS is a member of Forestry Corp, and this doesn't happen in other regions of Italy. And then we have, of course, a volunteer sector organized into specialized IB teams. IB for us is Wildfire Suppressions Team. So that, of course, supports some suppression operations. At a regional level, we are. This is our organization. So we have the president of Friuli Venezia Giulia region, the councillor, and for civil protection, of course, and then the civil protection of our region. We are divided in 5 different areas, and this all works under the supervision of the department, the national department. So we have a coordination of rescue and a regional operative room, where I work, and a 112 emergency number and IT systems. An area of quick intervention, administrative and accounting service for the emergency state related to civil protection, and legal services and e-procurement, training and security. All this, as I said before, under their supervision from the national department. Our region is quite unique in Italy because we have 215 municipalities, and all of these municipalities have a civil protection municipality group. These groups are divided in 23 districts, and these districts talks also the civil protection group, the municipality civil protection groups talk to the operative center, which is located in Palmanova, and is where I personally work. Civil protection in our region is a main point for us because since we have a civil protection municipality group in every municipality of the region, we can reach fast every emergency sites. We have 215 technical and logistical team and 117 firefighting teams. We are working hard to give our volunteers all the instructions, all the instruments that they need to operate in a secure environment and to be qualified to perform some jobs that are required. We also have 4 water rescue teams, and this for a total of more than 6,700 volunteers, only from municipality groups. We also have 70 associations with more than 3,000 volunteers, so we are more or less 9,000 volunteers across all the region. As I told you before, we are border regions, so cross-border cooperation is one of our main focus at the moment. With our Slovenian friends, we developed 2 main agreements that consent us to work together in many different occasions, and some of these occasions to join emergency, let's call it that way, are wildfire, and extreme weather events that occurred sometimes in our region, and of course evacuation for disposal of unexploded ordnance. We also take care of citizen awareness. We have this initiative that have been promoted after 2022 wildfire on karst that is called unburned karst, and in Italy sounds better. It's Carso non arso, and by the mission of these activities is to develop awareness in citizens, especially young citizens, in order to have a better society, but in wildfire management, also to spread awareness across the citizens. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I will try to give you some information about the Italian National Fire and Rescue Service. So it operates under the Ministry of Interior and is also a partner of us when we talk about wildfires. They can count on 34,000 professional firefighters, 800 headquarters and fire stations, and a big aerial fleet. And in our region, in Friuli Venezia Giulia, there are around 1,000 firefighters and 20 headquarters and fire stations. This is how they are structured. So we have a commander and we have a ROS, which is head of rescues of operations. And we have a team leader, and then, of course, the rescue team, which is composed by 5 to 8 units. And I end my presentation, of course, with joint training at regional and national level. We always try to improve ourselves with joint training between different regional bodies, such as the Forestry Corp or, of course, the rescue team. This is almost everything I had to tell you, and I leave now space to Gregorio Lenarduzzi, which is a member of Regional Forestry Group. Thank you. Bye.
You can be there.
Okay, stay there. Okay, perfect. Boa tarde. Good evening. My name is Gregorio Lenarduzzi, and I represent for the Forestry Corp of Friuli Venezia Giulia. And I'm very emozionato. I'm very happy to and very honored to be here in Portugal for the Fire Sentinel project. Today I will show you how we protect the forest and how the regional firefighter system works. The Regional Corp is a technical and environmental police service. We have 250 forest ranger and 28 forestry stations across our region. Our region is a small region, and it's like 70,800 square kilometers. It's a very green region because we have 40% of our territory is covered by trees. This is why our work is so important to prevent firefighter. Also, firefighter, we have the structure for hunting surveillance, snowpack monitoring, and economic also. The responsibility of the Regional Forest Corp is conservation and sustainable development of forest resource, manager, monitor and management of surface guarding our wildfire, flora and fauna. And also we have a rescue operation during natural disaster. And the reason we are here, also protection of woodland from forest fire. As they say, a good presentation needs some statistic. In Friuli, we have average of 18 forest fire every year, very little in front of Portugal number. The surface is about 300 hectares, but as you can see, there as you can see, there are some black hairs with the peaks, and from the 300 hectares, we can easily go to 2,000 hectare burning. And this peak is very challenging for us. Also, you can see that during from 1975 to now, there are the area of grassland burning is decrease. So this is a signal that the ambient, the land is changed, the use of land is changed. However, in this slide, you can see, I will say, Alessandro, my colleague Alessandro, the most important things for regional corp is to coordinate the operation and is to coordinate the operation and the activity with civil protection and forestry corp and firefighter. National firefighter, also the aerial fleet. However, fighting the fire is not enough. A good system starts much earlier. Our system has three main pillars: prevention, prediction, and firefighting measure. As you can see, for the prevention measure, the core is the Forest Fire Protection Plan. We establish a permanent team called TS1 for the forest operator that provide to clean the roads with the help of vigil fuoco of the forest, the firefighter. Also, we start to manage with localized prescribed burning. We start in 2021 to practice this prescribed burning. The prediction measure, we made a fire bulletin. And a particularity of our region is the CI team. Is a team very specialized and trained to fight the fire in the area where there are no street and you can go only with the helicopter. Usually this team is used for the fire start by lighting at the top of the mountain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now I would invite João, Lad. I don't know if you want to come here as well, and I know, and we have Alexandre. I was looking for him. So I would say that we are a little bit out of time, but we can dedicate 15 minutes or something like that to question and answers and maybe to debate. And Simon, of course. Sorry, Simon. So I don't know if there are questions from the audience in person. Personal talk. Sorry.
So all are very comprehensive overview and thank you for your presentations. My question goes to Simon. You showed your system in your country. We see that the fires are only mainly in one region, but can you some plans bringing firefighters from the openly. Yesterday, dinner time, I was talking with one of your compatriots, and I was told that in Slovenia we have around 200,000 firefighters in the country. Well, I was we have 8,000 firefighters. We have 2 million people, and we have 200 firefighters. And the concentrate of these people, how to treat them from one part of the country to the other to fight fires.
If you talk from there, I believe.
Yes, it's okay. So thank you for a question. So in Slovenia is history. Because of the history, because we were under the Austro-Hungarian system before, so the Slovenia was under it. And this is that remain from that time. So in every municipality, if you are not, especially in some not so big cities, but on the villages, if you are not a volunteer firefighters, you are not a villager of the city. So this is the tradition that is going ahead. But we have a law that is where is written that is a law of firefighting. That inside is written that one part must be also is dedicated also that the voluntary fire society or fire department must have also the youth, the children inside. I started when I had 8 years, so I am in the system for 41 years. So this is the tradition that is going in this kind. So we also on the national level is this national association, which is responsible for the formation. And every year it's planning what kind of formation must each region do, and people or firefighters inscribe and do these courses. Or also for the course for the wildfires, we have organized, especially after this catastrophic wildfire that we had in 2022, we organized some special courses to this kind of interventions, of wildland interventions, and also for managing the sectors, because we get the experience that the firefighter that is coming from the other side of Slovenia, they have no experience with the wildfires. So we must establish a new course, which is more on this leading emergencies, etc.
Okay.
And I think that this was how we managed we managed that in each firefighter regions, we have a fire commander of the association, no? And this one have under the fire commander of associations. And when we do a request that we need a platoon or 3 platoons, this information go to the regional fire commander, which is in connection with the national fire commander, and he coordinate from which region through this fire commander of region coordinates who come at which day, how many platoons come to the. So I don't know what I receive. I only order. I need 5 platoons, and I don't know from which regions they are coming to assist me until 12 hours before that they are coming.
Thank you. Any other question from the audience? Please, Borut.
Yes. So I have a question about. Okay, thank you. So I have a question about UCPM predisposition. About UCPM mechanism, I think colleague Alexander was also talking something about. And I'm want to make a question about predispositions. I know they are happening in all Europe, but as much as I know, they are happening mostly during the summer. What thinking is about this if these predispositions happened also in a time where let's say preventive measures are implemented in these countries, like Portugal, Spain, Italy, or Greece. So this should be like an opportunity to enlarge this net of personal promotion and formation for times and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe to Alexandra, or if any one of you wants to answer this question, or Alexandra, I don't know if it's better. Alexandra, I believe you could hear or not. It's about prepositioning.
I think so.
You are mute.
Again, too much buttons and just two hands. Like I said, I think I heard correctly. The question is about the UCPM prepositioning program that is allowing the experience exchange between teams from different countries, specifically teams that are already certified under the UCPP as a module. We are doing this since 2022, if my mind is not wrong. So the first year we had Finland we hosted Finland. And then on 23, Finland and Latvia, 24, Latvia, and I don't remember the other one. And the last year we had Latvia and Malta. And the idea for this, we are participating in this program not as a request to have more assets on the ground, but as an opportunity to allow other teams to experience the type of fires that we have on the southern part of the Europe and create a common understanding of the fire and a common approach to it. So in some of the years, of course, we didn't have the expected activity to provide that, but that means that this allows us also to create more opportunities to train and to exchange experience. So the idea is for these teams that come from abroad to be integrated with our teams of the Special Force of Firefighters. On the first 2 to 3 days, they train with them to have a common understanding about the operations and the way that we deal with the fires. And then they are integrated in the teams in 2 different bases of the country, on the central north part of the country and in the central and south part of the country, Almeri and Trancoso, and they do the shifts as our guys do. So when they are deployed, they are integrated in our fire trucks, and we do a mix of guys from FEPS and guys from the teams that come from abroad. And this have gave us opportunities to exchange knowledge, to exchange experience, providing some experience to others, but also gaining some knowledge from other ways to approach the same problems that we have in the southern and northern countries of Europe. And I think I responded to the question. If not, tell me to clarify anything.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Any other question from the audience? So I can read the questions that were posted by the people attending remotely. So one is, many wildfire management systems are investing heavily in preparedness and civil protection. in our fire-prone landscapes, how do you see the balance between investments in communities, in community preparedness, and investments in a landscape level fuel reduction? Is there a risk that we are adapting to fire impacts rather than reducing structural fire risk without addressing fuel loads and landscape structured longer terms? The communities are to remain exposed to wildfire impacts. I don't know, maybe once again it's to Alexandre, because maybe it's related to all this. Also
yeah.
maybe with the communities out there, then I will give you the... Go ahead, Alexandre.
I cannot agree more with the question and the problem that is put here. From several years ago to now, we are always implementing investment on trying to reduce the effects of the fire and try to implement the capacity to deal with these fires. This idea has changed, especially after 2017, but we still have a problem that most of the programs implemented and the things that they are being developed for the fuel reduction and for the community preparedness are processes that are not automatic, are things that will take some long time to have the proper results and to reduce the risk the way that we can also reduce the capacity for respond to the wildfires. So I think in the future, yes, this will be a thing that we'll gain, and we'll start to see the reduction of the number of fires, but especially the quantity of area burned by year. But like I said, is a thing that has to have its own time to be properly developed, implemented, for us to have results. And at this time, we are not at the level to reduce the investments that are still made in the capacity to respond to the fires. Yes, we'll be capable to do it. I think some years from now, when the results from the prevention and the impact that we are doing on the reduction of fuels start to give the proper results. And I think that addressed the question.
I don't know, João, if you want to add something.
Yes, I can just complement with one thing, that is, we will always have wildfires. Even though we can control some man-induced fires, the experience shows that in some days, in some year, we will have lightning fires or hurricane spread fires, and we must be prepared to that. And so preparing communities and preparing the forests to be more resilient to fires it's the main goal and the main objective. And we must know that we live with and we work with forest species that are already prepared and adapted to fire. So our silvicultural systems must be adapted to some kind of recurrence of fire that we always will have. I'm speaking of Iberia, but also other parts of Europe. We must fit our silvicultural systems in a country like Portugal, where our economy relies a lot on forest products. About 10% of our exports are from forest products. So we must fit our silvicultural systems with fire, within the fire regime, and protect the most valuable ones. And that is our aim, because we will always have fires. Some colleagues of ours made a sort of experiment with the natural lightning fires and study how they spread, only natural fires, and the fire incidence in our country would be the same or bigger than we have today with man-induced fires, okay? So even though one of our jobs is to lower the number of ignitions in the worst days in summer, to give the chance for the firefighting forces to control the fires and not have problems and human injuries and all those kind of things. But we always have fires. It's a natural feature of our landscape, as it is in California, as it is in Chile and Australia. And to fit within that, it's the main goal.
Thank you very much, João. I don't know if any of you want to add something, please just let me know. Otherwise, I would ask a question for Alessandro and Gregorio. That is, you talk about cooperation and transboundary fires between Friuli and Venezia Giulia. It's very difficult. But and the cooperation with Slovenia, and what about with Austria or even with the Veneto region? No, because
rispondi tranquillo. We also have an agreement with Austria in order to let our fleet use the water of Weissensee Lake. Weissensee is a quite big lake located in Austria, and we have an agreement in that state that if we have a large wildfire, our fleet can use the water of this lake. And also we are trying to improve our transborder operations and improve our communication over the time. And of course, if we have a major event in our region, in Friuli, we have the support of the national department that can send us some help from other regions, such as Veneto, Emilia-Romagna, Lombardia. For example, in 2022 and 2023, due to heavy rain, Emilia-Romagna suffered a big flood, and Friuli Venezia Giulia went to help with a lot of volunteers and for many weeks. And also, if we have earthquakes or any natural catastrophe, we are always all here to help each other. So we have help from other regions, and we have also help from Slovenia, Austria, and so this is part of the European community system.
Thank you very much. So I think actually we do not have much more time. We have here 2 or 3 questions, but maybe it's something that we can answer by mail or something to those that put this question. So I would finish this debate phase. Thank you very much. That just had so invite Professor Xavier Viegas and Borut if you want to close the session. Thank you very much for all of those that were attending, and so now maybe you can.
I will start. Okay. So I would just like to thank again the hosts and all the participants. They are here with us, and all of you who participate through this webinar. I hope it was, let's say, informational for all of us. And that's all. Very grateful. Thank you very much. And work is not done yet. We have a lot of ideas. Some of them are also a little bit crazy, but we will manage them. So thank you again.
Okay, also from my side, very few words. First of all, to tell you how pleasant it was to host you, all this group, during these 3 days, as was already described. It was also a learning experience for us. And in particular also for this seminar of the project, I would like to thank your attendance. There were around 200 people that was following the event by online. And I would like to thank especially those of you who came from out of Coimbra to attend this event, and to the speakers, the institutional speakers who contributed with their presentations to better knowledge from the situation in each country. I think that this was very grateful for all of us. So once again, I would also like to thank to my colleagues of my team, and especially Miguel, who helped to build all this event and to put all these people together. And I hope that we can continue to cooperate in the future and also bring our nations closer regarding this problem of wildfires that all of us we have to face, and that we may be also more capable of helping other countries and other people on this very bad problem. And I wish you all a good trip back home.
Mr. Last but not least, I would like to thank Alice and Ricardo from the Institute of International Sociology of Gorizia that helped us really on the organization of this event, and that are following us during this visit study with great professionality. And thank you really all to all.
Thank you, Alice. So, and I think that's all. So thank you very much. I wish you all a very good weekend. And so I hope to see you more often. And once again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. So we stop.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Obrigado, Alexandre.
Bye, Alexandre. Obrigado.
Até a próxima.
Obrigado. Um abraço, Alexandre. Um abraço.
Tchau.